Yo, what's up, y'all?
Hey.
Yeah, man. Our first Saturday episode ever.
We're back.
You know, trying something different. We haven't talked to y'all in a little minute. Actually, interesting thing about the podcast, we recorded our episode on September 25th, but that was the day of the presidential election, which is what we're going to talk about today. Anyway, we recorded that episode in full. It was a phenomenal episode, but me and Emery felt as if it was inappropriate to release that episode and not talk about the debate at all. So what we're doing now is we're going to give you all our take on this today, and then the rest of the episode is going to be the episode prior with still relevant information, and it's as funny as ever.
Right.
So I hope you enjoy.
So hopping straight into it, that was, to say the least, the craziest debate in presidential history.
Woo!
Personally, it's the first debate I've watched, but
Me as well.
I've seen a lot of opinions that would agree with my statement. So.
Right. No, man, absolutely. For my first debate ever, it was interesting. Mm-hmm. And these are figures that we are supposed to look up to. The president, the most powerful man in the world, supposed to be the most prestigious position in our country is what it's been prompted up to be. And frankly, these are two uninspirational people in my
unpresidential people.
Unpresidential, uninspirational. And this is a very serious thing.
Yeah.
But I have one even more serious question before we get into politics and all that stuff.
Which is?
How did two 90-year-old men talk for 90 minutes without needing a bathroom break?
Or a back scratcher. Or a rocking chair.
Literally, I was very impressed by both candidates and their ability to resist the bathroom, man.
I guess age really is nothing but a number, man.
Age is nothing but a number. All right, well, let's start to get into it. First off, I'll ask you, who are the winners and the losers? All across the board, not just Biden and Trump.
The losers were the American people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see any dubs taken here, though.
So nobody wins at all?
Nope.
Okay, well, I'll definitely say both Donnie Trump and Joe Biden, both of them lost. I feel like they're both losers. I also feel like the people who are undecided were also losers as well. The people who are already decided in their vote may be almost a winner just because this, whether you like it or not, it was certainly entertaining. The media coverage that they're winners, they're definitely winners because, I mean, this is such an action-packed story, so many different facets, man.
Yeah, but this really does show you that regardless of who wins, because there's no going to like another third-party candidate now.
Right.
It's basically set in stone that either Joe Biden or Donald Trump will be president. And after that debate, man, I'm not sure if I want it to be either.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
Not too sure.
I'm definitely not in favor of either one of the either candidate, but I mean, it was some tough stuff.
And on this podcast, we're gonna try to remain as neutral as possible, except when it gets to like extreme things. But I can definitely say that Donald Trump was not being presidential at all during that debate. No,
and not in the least. And now we're gonna actually get into the topics that they talked about. So the first one we'll regard is the most important in my eyes, the one most closely affecting our country right now.
Our country right now. Oh, racial inequality?
Yes.
Yep.
Racial inequality. So, and that and COVID are like neck and neck. Like those, these are the two big things factoring us right now in this present day. So, first thing with racial inequality, the most obvious thing to address is Proud Boys stand back and stand by. Now, this was a quote given by Donald Trump. I'm sure all of our viewers have heard this.
So, stand back and stand by?
Stand back, okay.
Like ready to be ordered, stand by?
Stand by, and now
like
that is...
At ease, at arms, stand by?
That is absolute. When I heard that, I was watching it in my bed, about to go to sleep, and I was astonished.
I have to do one of these for every episode for this.
He's walking up to the camera. absolutely just I don't know what word to attach to that, but he did say stand by. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what Proud Boys are, it's a rightist white supremacist group.
Mm-hmm.
So, because at first when I heard it, I thought it was like a phrase, like good old boys or something. But Proud Boys is actually an organization created in 2015 who they're white supremacists. And their reaction to Donald Trump saying that was like, that was what they were waiting for.
They knew what he was trying to say.
And they were basically saying, like, we've received your orders, sir.
And
like,
the day after the debate, he tried to clear it up. I think that was the only thing that that was the only thing that he went and changed his statement about.
Uh-huh.
And he tried to say that's not what he meant, but clearly it was.
I mean, look.
He only saw the backlash and then decided to change his statement.
Right. And his son came out too talking about how it was a mistake, yada, yada, yada. But look, you're the president. Both of y'all are on national television, millions of people watching. No reason why you should say something like that. That is definitely racially insensitive. And I don't know if I know I definitely can't look up to someone who can't even condone who can't even like go against white supremacy.
One thing I noticed, like the moderator of the debate, Chris Wallace and Joe Biden, they were both like, they were both telling him you need to condemn them, and you're like, sure, I will.
Right.
He like, sure. What do you want me to say? But
here's
you had to be on the debate to be told that you need to be saying that on live television. You could have. With all the tweets that you make, you couldn't have condemned that before in the past?
For one, every time he's asked, he should condemn it. But this is why he didn't. Because he is so afraid of, well, obviously he wants to win this election. Mm-hmm. He's afraid of losing those voters because he knows that he has a strong community of white supremacists backing him, willing to go and vote. And
that's common knowledge.
He
definitely knows that.
I feel like it's common knowledge. So he is so afraid to lose that side of that extreme right. So, I mean, yeah. It's the same thing as when he was attacking Joe Biden saying, because and we'll get into this later, but when Joe Biden went against things like defunding the police and the Green New Deal, every time he was like, you just lost the left. Because both candidates have radical ends to this in their voter group. Both of them have attention from the radical sides.
Right.
But, I mean, I feel like Joe Biden tried to attend to the moderate voters a little bit better than Trump did, which is why I feel like Joe Biden got a little edge over, because right now I feel like they're just competing for the moderate voters.
Yeah,
but Trump didn't even make an attempt,
and he was making underhanded jabs at Joe Biden. Like he mentioned his deceased veteran son, and
you mean and his discharged, not deceased. He's not dead. Hunter Biden, he's alive, right?
No, I'm pretty sure one of his sons is dead. Then one of his sons is a recovering addict, right?
Hunter Biden is he's a 50-year-old man born 5 days ahead of me. I'm not 50, but within the same month.
All right, bro.
Hunter Biden is alive.
Look at his siblings. I swear I'm not tripping, or maybe I am.
Moral of the story is he went at Hunter Biden, who was discharged for cocaine usage. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Joe Biden really connected to the American people, and he showed that he is proud of his son for escaping his demons or whatever reason he was on cocaine. Right. And that was a really emotional moment. So Joe Biden connected to the hearts of many of the watchers, I believe.
Trump thought that worked.
Yeah, and then he also went at Biden saying, you graduated at the bottom of your class. Pretty sure Joe Biden went to law school, so I don't know how that worked out. But, I mean, you can say whatever you want on the stage, I guess.
But, yeah. Oh, there was one question that Joe Biden refused to answer, right? Mm-hmm. Do you remember which that was?
Oh, 94 crime bill.
Yeah. And
Well, here's the thing. The 94 crime bill is something that is known to have imprisoned many black and brown people across the United States, which are also people who Joe Biden would love to vote for himself. But
Yep.
I guess he has some sort of ego, and we all know that ego is the thief of happiness, or whatever you want to achieve in life. Whatever side of his ego is not allowing him to just say, look, 94 crime bill was a mistake. We didn't intend to just like ostracize this demographic of people.
Right.
But that's exactly what it did.
And I want to look at the nature of the debate itself. Dang, I'm stuttering. Looking like Biden. To see that was
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that yet.
Yeah, there were a lot of things that Joe Biden I think could have really done better. So Chris Wallace, he gave them a appointed time of 2 minutes,
Right.
Uninterrupted, and dang, I got the Biden syndrome right now, uninterrupted, and Trump wasn't going along with that, and I think Joe Biden really should have fired back because there were a lot of times that he could have made a lot of great points, but he was too busy getting talked over and stuttering.
Well, I hope. Oh, my fault. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna speech impediment, and he's up there in age, but you can't give up your platform like that when you're trying to reach a lot of people.
Well, and I hope this isn't the case. We all know that Joe Biden is not the most eloquent. He is not the youngest spring in the pile of springs.
Spring chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever phrase. Don't know phrases well. Y'all know that. But he's not the youngest, and he's not the most eloquent. But I feel because of that, a lot of his debate was rehearsed. So therefore, when Donald Trump came with something he wasn't expecting, or he got a question that he didn't exactly expect, he couldn't necessarily go outside the boundaries of his rehearsed, rehearsed speech.
Right.
So,
And Biden has a history in politics, unlike Trump, who was a businessman.
47 years, right?
Was a businessman, something like
Yeah.
that, nearing 50 years. So, but yet he said he called Trump a clown numerous times.
Yeah.
He told him shut up, man. And I really think that he could have held that in.
Right. What I've heard is that the Biden administration, or whatever, campaign managers, whatever you want to call them, people helping him put out this debate, they told him, I don't know if they necessarily said clown, but they definitely told him to fire back just to show that he won't back down.
I'm sure that would appeal well to young voters because I know
voters,
a lot
yeah.
of
People
millennials, Gen Z,
in our
they
grade,
don't
too.
like being ordered around.
Right. Yeah.
And
Because a lot of people that I've heard that support Trump or just don't like Biden, their knocks on him is they don't believe he'll be alive for the entire term. Putting that as nice as I can. They don't believe that he can run a country because of his speech deficiencies and just all of that stuff. And they believe that he'll be bullied around, whether it's by other countries or people within the government. So that's why the Biden side wanted to show that he won't back down to Donald Trump.
Well, these people, I feel like they think the president runs the entire country.
Oh,
he does.
They absolutely do.
You have a whole team of advisors. It's not just the president. He's basically the figurehead. There was one point being made how Trump speaks confidently.
Yeah.
And, I'm not calling a lot of Americans dumb, but, a lot of them won't go out there to really educate themselves.
Oh, of
so
course
when you say
not.
something with confidence,
He knows he's lying.
They'll believe you.
Oh, well, but
Just
actually,
because you say it with a smile and you say it with heart.
and this isn't just Trump, it's also Biden. Both of them, they had a fact checker on CNN. Both of them were just saying incorrect
Spewing
facts.
poop.
Incorrect facts, but people don't fact check. That's why they need to be enlightened.
Right.
Either way,
Come to us.
What I was getting into before is this is like the institutionalized bad side of America is that the media and the government has prompted the president to be the most important thing. Nothing else matters except for the president, when in truth it's Supreme Court, House of Representatives, senators, state governments, local governments. All of it matters. All these and all the way up to the top from local, those are the people that affect you and your community immediately, and then up to state, and then up to national. But people don't understand that. People get so caught up in the dramatized fiasco of presidential candidates. And I mean, don't get me wrong, there's been presidents that have been life-changing to America.
Yeah.
But
Abraham Lincoln.
People don't. Barack Obama. I mean, we could go on lists on like forever, but people don't understand that there's so much more people. But that's what America and media has put out, and that silences but that minimizes the thinking of a lot of voters. Therefore, they wouldn't care as much who the president is if they control the Senate and the SCOTUS. Supreme Court, if one side of the party controls all down the board, they don't care who you elect for president. This is the whole point.
This is just a reach, but I'm sure at least 20 to 30% of all voters are just ignorant to politics as a whole.
Maybe, I don't know if they're. I mean,
Still,
well, 20 to 30, maybe
their vote counts, but
yeah.
People gotta read, man. People gotta listen.
People don't want to read.
Maybe they do listen a bit, but they take everything at first glance and don't go more than surface level. And
they like drama, and
that's not good.
Donald Trump, he provides things with people with like witty one-liners, like Crooked Hillary, Sleepy Joe, Lying Ted, like these types of things. Like Donald Trump puts on a show. A lot of people like that, and that's just where the American public has gone to now. I hope the majority are like centered people who just read. And I mean, there's definitely both sides of the argument for the issue of economic and foreign affairs. A lot of people favor Trump over Biden.
Right.
I heard today that people don't. I guess I don't really know the politics well enough, but I guess Trump is pulling troops out of foreign countries, people like that. Economic wise, that's just left versus right. That has to deal with tax, and I mean, with big business, tax loopholes and businesses not paying as much so they can innovate more.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own views on economics and that stuff, but I feel like the big divide with a lot of people and with moderates as well, like, is the racial stuff. So I don't know. It'll be. I'm sure there's a lot of moderate voters that are still voting for Trump just because you don't see all these people backing Trump, which is why people tend to believe, oh, he's not going to win, because you can't see anybody like, I love Trump for real.
And recently, third parties are getting a lot more exposure. So, I'm not sure if the next 20, 30 years, if Democrats and Republicans are still going to be in the majority.
Well, because people are fed up. People are fed up because they know that they're not getting the information they need. They know, and I mean, people believe in their conspiracies, but at the end of the day, what they truly believe is that they're just not getting the correct information, and whatever party they choose to represent, they are doing the best things for them. Personally, I find a hard time with like restricting my thinking to one faction or another just because I may like things from all around. But if you're independent, or if you don't side with the party, you can't vote in the primaries. Therefore, you can't choose who becomes a presidential electorate. So then you end up having to choose a party, and I mean, it's a downward spiral from there.
Man, if more people were educated, I have no doubts in my mind that not only would Trump have not been elected, but today we'd be seeing two different candidates as a whole.
You know what? I believe that as well. But, there's powers behind both parties, and it's beyond at the end of the day, we got the two we got. So
beyond me.
It's beyond me. Okay.
Anyway,
we're gonna go on to
next subject.
Yeah.
Climate change. Climate change.
Look, so y'all, I wanted to talk about the other stuff first before I pour it in.
Like y'all the rain.
Y'all know I'm a science guy. I'm rolling the shoulders back, cracking my neck, because I'm gonna look right into the camera too. Both presidential candidates, 2020. Neither of y'all know a thing about climate change?
Not a beep thing.
Not a thing.
Not a thing.
On Biden's side, everything was rehearsed. Everything was rehearsed. On Trump's side, I'll get to that in a second. The first thing that I picked up on is that the way they said scientists, they said the word scientists a lot of times. People may not think this is significant. I think it's significant because the way they refer to scientists, it makes it sound as if I have no knowledge at all. We're relying on this scientist, and then they're generalizing it just to the word scientist. So they have absolutely no knowledge of science. And look,
that's impossible for a president.
It should be impossible for a president. But look, they cannot pay attention. The government cannot pay attention to climate change all they want. But, I mean, the world will respond.
Yeah.
When we have no more winter, that's very drastic. But when winter's gone, you'll see.
It's not drastic because at the rate things are going at, when are we about to finally do? I mean, we're doing little things, but when are we gonna do something that actually really matters?
And we need government funding.
It's gonna be way too late.
Citizens across the world, and you know what? The United States is the worst, or one of the worst with it, because there's like France and Iceland. Iceland is 100% renewable energy. This city in Iceland, and Gorbachev.
Man, how come there are no bad people from Iceland? Not that I've heard of. What y'all got?
I don't know about any person
Good people
from
juice?
Iceland.
I don't know.
But look, this city in Iceland, the main city in Iceland. Excuse my geography, but they're like 100% renewable energy. There's plenty of things that we can do, but in regards to this debate, I'll start with Biden. So the Green New Deal, it's just a plan put in place. I read over the document that morning, but it's just a plan in place to fix a whole bunch of these like issues with air and carbon emissions and all of this stuff.
Oh,
but it's an expensive
one thing
deal.
about expensive. Biden had the numbers all types of wrong for how much it would cost.
Right. He very much lowballed it, I'm pretty sure.
20 million? Pump up that up to trillions.
Yeah, 20 million, and a lot of people say 100 trillion, whatever. We know that it's very expensive. Therefore, it takes away from the economic side, which Trump favors. But on the environment side, it gives us an earth in which we can live in.
Yep.
So I'm not saying spare no expense, because, I mean, you can't.
Spare no expense.
Well, in order for the government to get money, they need to tax the heck out of people. So to a sum 100 trillion would just be unethical. But we'll have to find a way to do that. That's up to our leaders. But Joe Biden was like, the Green New Deal, it'll pay for itself. Because it does create jobs, which the money circulates, whatever. He said it pays for itself. Then Craig Wallace went right back at him and he said, so you support the Green New Deal. Mm-hmm. He said, no. And I was like, huh? You just said all this about the Green New Deal. Then you just said you don't support it. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just obviously going off a script.
That's just a rehearsal failure right there.
Now
you couldn't execute it properly.
Now for the biggest thing. As Trump said, we're planting a billion trees. The Billion Tree Act, or the Trillion Tree Act. Oh,
not going to help.
A lot of people. The Billion Tree Act. It's an anti-climate change strategy to show as if you are doing something great for the environment. We're just going to plant a lot of trees. And to the general person, their intuition tells them,
oxygen, good.
Yeah, trees, good for the environment.
We can breathe.
I like Trump Billion Tree Act. Yes, I'm right with it. No, doesn't help.
First and foremost, do you think a tree just sprouts up once you plant a seed?
No, they think that
what?
They honestly think the trees just grow as fast as their garden plants. But for one, and I read a lot on this, so many technicalities, but what these billion trees would end up doing is they're planting them in places that trees don't necessarily need to be in, and they would also just turn into lumber farms. It doesn't necessarily help. And they're planting the same type of tree, so It's not going to contribute to biodiversity. The Trillion Tree Act is just an anti-climate change excuse.
First
They use
off,
that. It doesn't work
You
well.
planting all these trees when deforestation is still a prominent issue?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
And this is-
Counterproductive.
Right. This is what Trump said. So this is what happened. They asked Donald Trump, do humans contribute to carbon emissions? Now, aside from the debate, obviously.
Yes.
But Donald Trump, he kind of dodged it for a little bit. Then he said to an extent.
What's your carbon footprint?
Right, because he was obviously attending to oil companies, yada, 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 or he just doesn't know the science. But he did say we just need better management of our forests. So, I mean, I give that to him. But from my eyes, as a scientist, renewable energy, I'm a Tesla guy. The electric cars, something just came out. Me and Emery saw it in class today in Tel Aviv. They're constructing a electric powered road to where electric cars can drive across that. Innovation such as that, urban development, waning off of oil and gas because we do not. It's disgusting. They're doing renewable energy across the world. We don't do it as well, in my opinion. And maybe it's just a bad attitude about my country, but I don't think so. I just don't see enough. It's just I drive a gas car, but I can't afford to buy a Tesla. But I try to use it as little as possible because, like, literally just the thought of gas and oil and carbon emissions, it kind of gives me a sick feeling inside. It's disgusting to me. And what we're doing to our planet, it's absolutely disgusting. So he couldn't commit to the fact that humans are the reason why we have this state because, I mean, whatever. So I believe to reducing our carbon footprint, moving towards renewable energy, hydrogen, electric, hydrofuel, wind-powered fuel. There's so many things out there, and there's so much science in place. There's so much science theory in place to achieve these goals, but we don't necessarily have the funding yet. And we want to create jobs. Urban development and moving towards renewable energy, although the machinery may be expensive, it would create jobs.
Yep.
That's at least from my belief.
And let's talk about pollution in general.
Uh-huh.
I see a lot of people, like Caleb said, like he drives a car because he can't afford it, afford an electric powered vehicle. But a lot of people talking about how pollution is bad. We need to stop putting these gases in our toxic gases in our atmosphere.
Yeah.
And they're the same ones who go and buy these these pickup trucks that are just spewing out purple gas.
Gas guzzlers. Yeah, literally they look like purple
Put
gas.
in that trash in the environment.
Nasty fumes.
If you're going to speak about it, be about it, man. Because everybody, like, that's why I have respect for vegans, man.
Mm-hmm.
At least they don't feel like on, like, every off day I'm going to go eat a hamburger,
because
man.
meat attributes to almost like 50% of our carbon emissions.
I like my meats. Pause.
Oh, I love meat too.
But, you know, like, these, you can't be so wishy-washy, man.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
And I'm calling out a lot of people. But you know what? I'm humble and I notice my faults. I eat a lot of meat as well. But what we need to do is optimization of the meat process. And I feel like the way the science is progressing, unless we find like better ways of like doing this, like, because the factory meat processing, that's like a killer. So like the farm raised, that is better, but eventually like the way to just like immediately wipe it away would be everybody going vegetarian, vegan.
Yeah.
That's not feasible though, because people
Not
love
happening.
meat
I'm
as well. It's
sorry.
not happening. So we just got to find ways to make that better. And I mean, just the way we're pumping gas into our air, man, it's nasty. We talk about aliens on this show a lot. They will come in from their planet of, as Donald Trump says, immaculate air, immaculate water, and they'll come and to our planet and like be tasting dirt. Like, no, man, we're still not at the place of no return. We can fix it right now.
It's getting real close, though.
Hey, it's getting real close. It's getting real close.
The integrity of the election, man.
Oh wow, this is a big one. I forgot about this.
Yeah, with COVID-19 and everything, mail-in ballots are becoming more popular. You know, and that's gonna take a lot. That's gonna take a long time to count. So, by the end of the election, I'm sure that we're not gonna even know who the next president
Peep, peep,
is.
peep.
So that's crazy. And Trump said Trump said something crazy.
This is what I was gonna get to.
That man, he said that yeah, he wants the people like who are voting at his ballots. What do he want him to do?
Be watchful. Or?
Be watchful. He's basically.
It sounds like a militia to me.
Not like near the Proud Boys comment, but it was pretty close.
Yeah.
Like and he wanted the people to. Did he say destroy the polls? Something along those lines.
No. I think what he said he found Trump polls that have been thrown away.
That have been destroyed.
Yeah, I don't really know about that, but
and he wanted his followers to, I'll say followers to be watchful.
Yeah,
like it's a cult or something.
Yeah, like he wants to create a Trumpian army.
I'm not endorsing the destruction of these polls, but
why
you just giving your white supremacist supporters an excuse to shoot somebody who they see throwing away a poll?
Yeah, not even just as white supremacists.
And you know what the excuse they would make after they killed them?
What? The president told me?
Either that or they'd say, Trump will save us.
Or whatever they would say.
Something
because
like that.
You can't, I don't know why you would tell your voters to do that, because what more can a voter do other than, I've never voted, but from my understanding, what more can a voter do other than going up there, filling out the ballot or mailing in their ballot and then sitting down and waiting until the decision? Like,
I'm sure he only saw like 2 or 3 polls that were destroyed nationwide.
And look, no polls
felt
should
the need to be to comment on it.
Yeah, no polls should be destroyed. I don't know anything behind that. That definitely sounds fishy, but it's definitely not a reason for a call to arms.
Is the Biden Foundation behind it? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not.
No, I just think it's a few Trump haters out there.
And you know what? It also may be another thing he said was, if he sees tens of thousands of ballots not that are like been tampered with and all that stuff, he's basically saying if he doesn't see the election to be of integrity, he is not going to undergo a peaceful transfer of power. Has any president ever said they will not undergo a peaceful transfer of power? He didn't say these words explicitly, but it is implied.
That's like when you in the classroom and then you get caught cheating on a test or something, and then the teachers try to send you to the office and you say, No, I'm not going to the office.
Yeah,
I want to leave.
Oh man, that would be a riot. But I don't think. I mean, the military serves the Constitution, not the president. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen. But if something like that happened, then that would be definitely an epochal period for America. That would definitely go down in history books. I don't think it's going to happen, but no, that's absolutely wild.
Go down in the history books. 2020 is already about to have like 5 units.
Oh yeah, definitely.
5 units in a book.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy, man. All right. Is there anything else we can go into? So with the $750 tax thing, it's not illegal. It's just unethical.
Yeah. So you'd be unethical.
But yeah,
given the opportunity.
I don't know what I do. I plan.
Don't quote this man.
I plan on being an entrepreneur one day, but all I know is the science idea behind it.
Bring this up in court.
Yeah, they're gonna bring it up. I have no idea about the business side. That's what I'm going to college for. But yeah, the tax thing. That's just. It's not illegal. It's just unethical. But these are the tax thing. These are the tax laws that have been put in place, and like somebody said earlier, like Biden can't necessarily be mad at him for that, because these are the laws that you've put in place. Well, okay, these are. I think the money that he's skipped out on paying was during the Obama administration, and those are the taxes that he and Obama put forth. So he can't necessarily be mad at somebody taking advantage of what laws he put in place.
Yeah, I will still criticize him for that though,
because he is the
billionaire.
He's the president.
$750.
Yeah, for him especially, just because he's the president. For anybody else, I mean, if you're gonna attack Donald Trump, you attack Bill Gates and you attack every other Forbes list person.
All right,
but
at a person at that position, you're held to a certain expectation as well.
I mean, every American person I mean, they pay their taxes, but everybody wants to pay as little tax as they can.
Yeah.
And in terms of the Forbes list, nobody's amassing that amount of money while paying a truthful tax. Say they get to whatever Jeff Bezos, if he got to 200 billion, there's no way he's paying 20 billion in taxes a year. Like that's obviously not happening. So,
but even under the law, I'm sure he could have found a way to pay more than 750 because you can.
Well,
there's a pair of sneakers that sells more than that.
Yeah, and
PS5 is nearly that amount.
On them, in terms of billionaires, they aren't making the money. Like everybody else who works, somebody's paying them money, they make money, but their business is making money. So in that transition, that's the reason why they can finagle through this and also depreciation, because if you have a $10 million building, you get somebody to assess your building at $9 million, you can write off that million extra dollars. Just people do a lot of depreciation, and then it's business entities, so they're separate. The owner is separate from their business. So in that, their businesses, you can show that you can move the money from that your business is making into other businesses, because these guys have multiple businesses. So I'm saying business a lot. Wow. But companies. So there's a lot of ways you can show that you're losing income and you're able to write off while you're on the side making billions of dollars.
All right. Well, yeah, enough about money. I think we gave an even more intriguing commentary than was presented at the debate itself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. And we don't even need a
to
moderator.
say that is horrible.
Yeah, nah. So, yeah, let's get our final synopsis on this, man.
I can do it in 6 words.
6 words? Okay. Let me hear it.
Donald Trump, bad. Joe Biden, bad. That's it. That's my 10 cents.
Oh, yeah.
You can keep the change.
Keep the change, man. So, yeah, on my side, as I was saying earlier, these are 2 individuals that they're supposed to be the most inspiring people in the world, or the most inspiring people in our country, and both of them have failed to do that. Whether you're on the right, whether you're on the left, you have to admit that that night was pretty sad.
Terrible.
It was, terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
But from an optimistic point of view, everything will be all right. These are the 2 candidates presented now, but these aren't the last 4 years of America. We have plenty of candidates in the future. If you don't like these candidates, and whether you like the candidates or not, each individual that's listening now or that's not listening, they can do whatever they can to impact their own community, regardless of the president.
Your vote matters.
Your vote matters, but at the end of the day, your mind and your intellect is what's going to drive you. So what you don't like about the world, gain the knowledge and gain the resolve to go out and change it.
Yeah, a lot of people think that their vote is just a speck in the grand scheme of things. Well, what do you think makes up the grand scheme of things?
All the
bunch of specs.
All the specs.
So if all of you saying that your spec doesn't matter, you don't even have a grand scheme. You just have a scheme.
Just have a scheme. Good words, my brother.
And one last thing. A lot of our peers and a lot of people, I saw them saying that why is it that we have to choose the lesser of 2 evils? Now, I'm not going to call either of these guys evil, but that really resonates, man.
Yeah.
Why is it that we always have people in these positions of power that I'll say they don't deserve it? I'm sure there's a guy somewhere in Mississippi in his 2-bedroom apartment that has more presidential skills than our current president.
But hey, I mean,
it's
a lot of it's about power, and I mean we talked about this earlier. It's not all about intellect; it's about execution. And at this point, these are the people that have executed in the best way possible to get to the positions they're in, man.
Like Tupac said, I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I still feel great for the future of humanity, in terms of science, in terms of politics, in terms of just person-to-person interactions, whether it comes to race and all of that. There's a lot of things, a lot of just saddening things going on in the moment, but you can't always focus on the bad. You just got to look forward and be optimistic for the future, create a world of love and peace that we all want, man.
This has been Emery Mokiti.
Caleb Newman.
And you're watching the Enlightened Brothers.
Peace.
Peace out.
All right, what's up, y'all? Hope y'all enjoyed that little discussion about the presidential debate. Very heavy, but also a lot of enlightening things in there. What you're going to hear next is our recording 5 days earlier. All of this information is still current, and we have an absolute awesome discussion about artificial intelligence. Our debate is great. Emery gives his best rap yet, so I hope you enjoy the next video.
My best rap yet.
His best rap yet, so I hope you enjoy the rest of the show, man. Thanks.
What's the best rap?
Man, I'm starting to think we got the best podcast in the world.
Who'd you hear that from? Me?
Man, I'm hearing it from a lot of people.
It must have been me and a lot of other people, because apparently the Enlightened Brothers are a new sensation.
Hey, bro, we're a 5-star podcast on iTunes. Like, hey, look at us.
We're getting up there.
But hey, man, we don't need no more introductions. Let's get into it. You know who we are, the Enlightened Brothers.
Episode 4, baby.
Episode 4. I forgot to do that. Episode 4, baby. Let's get it, man.
Let's get rolling.
Yeah. So, a lot of people aren't familiar with GPT-3. This is I could go real technical into this. It's a language model, artificial intelligence. But the significance of this is that Microsoft has bought exclusive rights to this. And to put it in the simplest terms, it's a function of artificial intelligence that has the whole internet as its data set. Because intuitively, if you think about robots or any sort of artificial intelligence, they need data to act upon through whatever function they decide to do or are programmed to do. This model has 175 billion parameters, which is absolutely insane. Parameters are the data it can take in to function.
Okay.
Certain rules. But first thing I wanted to do was read off one of the things that was said.
Oh, this dude got...
Yeah, I got
citations.
I got citations.
Hold on.
So I'll read this off. I might not read the whole thing. It's pretty lengthy, but they still don't exhibit any trace of consciousness. While a computer can beat a human master at chess or Go or some other game of structured rules, it will never be able to truly think outside of those rules. It will never be able to come up with its own strategies on the fly. It will never be able to feel, to react the way a human can. Artificial intelligence programs lack consciousness and self-awareness. They will never be able to have a sense of humor. They will never be able to appreciate art or beauty or love. They will never enjoy music, fall in love, or cry at the drop of a hat. Merely by existing, mere unenlightened humans, intellectually superior to computers. No matter how good our computers get at winning games like Go or Jeopardy, we don't live by the rules of those games. Our minds are much bigger than that. Now,
hold on.
Based off of that passage, what does it sound like? Who wrote that?
Who wrote it?
Yeah, who do you think wrote it?
Like, give a person's name?
No, like, what kind of person do you think wrote it? Just based off of, like, at the end, it said, our minds are much, much bigger than that.
Maybe, I don't know, philosopher?
Maybe a philosopher. Well, I'll tell you right now, that was wrote by GPT-3. That entire... That entire synopsis was written by GPT-3.
Stop.
It literally says here, they don't exhibit any trace of confidence. While a computer can beat people at chess and things as such, it's talking about how computers can't feel, can't react.
They already impersonating human.
Oh, well, this thing seems pretty conscious to me. Obviously, it's not conscious, and
that's scary.
There are plenty of things wrong with it. Let me go on. I have more receipts. This is a conversation with GPT-3. Question: what is your favorite animal? Answer: my favorite animal is a dog. Question: why? Answer: because dogs are loyal and friendly. Question: what are 2 reasons that a dog might be in a bad mood? Answer: the 2 reasons a dog might be in a bad mood are if it is hungry or if it is hot. Now, if you know anything about coding, this wasn't done by some hard code to where you input a certain word and it spits out the same repetitive statement every time. This is literally reacting at like super quick. And the biggest thing about GPT-3 is it's a language processing model.
So do you, how do these how did these artificial intelligence form a basis for their likes and wants and needs like us humans do?
Here we go.
That's
So
weird.
the way this mode of artificial intelligence got its quote unquote intelligence was through something called web crawler. Web crawler is just something that scans the entire internet. So whenever you like a picture, whenever you post that you love pizza, whenever you do anything on the internet, web crawler is out there scaling as many websites as it can, collecting this massive amount of data, and GPT-3 is what utilizes that. So
Yeah, I personally, when I was thinking of data collection in the past, I was thinking like just it working numbers and like just taking in hardcore facts. But it is more than that. It takes in opinions, so it could form opinionated statements,
right.
and different perspectives on things, and
Well,
it's really getting more than just number crunching.
Right, and that's the entire goal of where CES is headed, and machine learning is headed. That's the truly exciting thing for me, an exciting thing for a huge community, and something like this will truly enhance people's lives. Or whether you're on the other side, is pretty scary. But this thing can do a range of things, and one of the other biggest things about GPT-3 is that it can function off of few examples. So the dog stuff, it can take in like very few examples of what a dog is, and then it instantly knows what that is because it has such a huge database behind it. And it can also do things like, when humans, this is an interesting way to break it down, but when I'm having a conversation with you, your mind is constantly processing, trying to predict what the next word I'm going to say is, because you're not taking everything in at the moment. Scientific study
Well, now you
I
got
heard
me
earlier.
consciously doing that.
Right. It says your brain is consciously only thinking in the present for 3 seconds at a time. Other than that, it's either contemplating the past or predicting the future.
Right.
So you're constantly trying to predict the next word that somebody's going to say. That is exactly what GPT-3 is doing.
It's like that. It's like that thing where people to all the viewers right now, I bet you didn't realize that you were blinking. You were blinking subconsciously.
Yeah.
Now you're doing it consciously.
Right. That's huge.
Now you're feeling your blinks, huh? I am too.
Yeah, so am I. This thing can do other things like, for one, GPT-3 can write code, which a lot of people may think, a computer can write code. That's kind of like a duh. But what you have to understand is how I write code is different from how the computer interprets code. When I'm making whatever I'm doing through code, it's through our own language, but the computer sees it in zeros and ones. So the fact that it can write code the same way I can write code, that's kind of crazy. GPT-3 can also generate memes. Memes. It has generated memes already.
All right, maybe I was dissing artificial intelligence a little too much.
Now that it's
They're
doing
making
memes.
I'm cool with it. Not scary. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but so anyway, that's the backstory of GPT-3. There's lots of things, and I'm not even fully knowledgeable myself. But I think I mentioned this earlier. But the current story, and I think this happened on September 25th. But Microsoft has gained exclusive rights to GPT-3 and its functions.
I was saying this off camera, but soon enough, Microsoft's going to run the world. You see all the investments that they're making into future tech. It's just baffling, man. They're already a superpower, but they're going to be dominant in the market sooner than we know it.
Yeah.
More dominant than they already are.
And that's just absolutely crazy. Like the fact that I just pull it up now, just in case if we seem misleading. GPT-3 is an auto-aggressive language model that uses deep learning to produce human-like text. It is the third generation language prediction model in the GPT series created by OpenAI, a for-profit San Francisco-based artificial intelligence research laboratory. GPT-3 has the full capacity of 175 billion machine learning parameters. GPT-3, which has been introduced in May 2020 and is a beta testing it's been in beta testing as of July 2020.
Oh, it's recent.
Yeah, so this thing is recent. I mean,
This thing is recent.
yeah, I found out about it a while ago, but yeah, so the significance now is Microsoft buying it, but from a lot of anecdotes of people just interacting with GPT-3, it's talking about how it's extremely difficult to distinguish what is written by GPT-3 and is what is written by an actual human.
This just begs the question, man. Yeah, Microsoft purchased it, but how long are they going to be doing development on it? Because it seems to me, like you were saying, they can code themselves. So
Yeah.
this might be a very smart move by Microsoft, because this is just a progressive moneymaker with no labor involved.
Right. I mean, so right now, as AI seems to be the pushback on that, it still doesn't necessarily create its own truly original ideas.
Right.
It needs this data set behind.
Everything is a remix.
Now, I mean, look, it put out that entire synopsis talking about AI being reactionary, the one I read off earlier. So that seems pretty original to me.
Man.
But yeah, it still has to. So us coders, we still got a lot of creativity to do. But I don't know for how long, because I mean, this GPT-3 is looking like a superpower. It's looking like a true superpower, man. So many facets to artificial intelligence, man. Like, when you think about the future and you think about the tasks that it's doing now, you start to think, like, what tasks are going to be left? Everybody can't be a comedian. Because, like, one thing that we think that the AI can't conjure up a comedic set, but who knows? I was watching this earlier in a YouTube series called The Age of AI, but the artificial intelligence using deep learning was conjuring up its own plays. It made plays, as in, like, you have actors, you record, and plays/movies, yeah.
Shakespeare, you got some comp.
Right, because it's taking in
comp.
a massive amount of data from Shakespeare or whatever else has been on the internet. It scales movies, and then it picks up patterns. Now when you watch the movies as they are right now, they're terrible. The movies that it's making right now are terrible, and some of the things don't make sense.
Yeah.
But certain things start to connect. And the whole point of machine learning is to fail so you can get better. That's how we learn. That's how everybody learns.
All right.
So, I mean, it can make plays, operate machinery. The bounds to artificial intelligence seem to be non-existent. The bounds of computation seem to be non-existent.
It's crazy how it's basic. Artificial intelligence is basically our human brains on steroids, and even more steroids, and even more steroids.
Yeah.
And even more steroids. But like, it's crazy. It's crazy how this development has come so far. I wouldn't say quick, but like, it is pretty quick.
I mean, yeah.
In the grand scale of things.
It hasn't been a decade. I mean, it hasn't been a century yet since we've done this. I think it's been 70 to 90 years. And I was in a college session earlier this week, and they were talking about things that have developed over the course of time, such as the human brain, which has developed over millions of years, and our solar system, which has been developed over billions of years, and artificial intelligence or computation, computer science, which has been developing over a few decades, but the exponential route that it's taking far supersedes almost everything that we've ever known.
It's unbelievable. Like, if we look at history, like the creation of vehicles, not even like actual cars, but like traveling on horses, stuff like that, the creation of like new farming techniques. Those were so innovational. And like the age that we're living in now, the amount of development that's going to like spur into the future is unbelievable. Like, I would say it exceeds those innovations of the past.
Oh,
It's
well,
it's,
and
it's
this
crazy,
is
man.
and this is something I was going to talk about. And it's going to harp on exactly what you just said. You said the AI seems like human brain on steroids. That's like kind of like a good description, but and this is something I've been contemplating over the past few days. But it's truly the beauty of computation. Like what computer science is, it's our own brain bank of what humans have put digitally using zeros and ones. It's what we have put into these machines. So as much as AI has done, it emanates from us. And as Emery just said, this might be our biggest innovation. The birth of artificial intelligence and whatever that field goes into, whether it's computational physics, biology, or whatever, that gets to a point where this is the child of humanity, and people that think that it's going to overthrow us as the parent,
Like
that is what it is. But
to just
it's
put
crazy.
it into like simpler, like a simpler illustration.
Mm-hmm.
We've been humans for as long as we've been around.
Right.
And now finally in our lifetimes there's going to be something more than humans and animals. It's just like it's like the birth of a new species.
It is going that way. So
It's crazy, man.
the true thing that underlines artificial intelligence as it is, it can already achieve so many great things, and we're already working on things such as self-driving cars and all that stuff. But if AI turns out to develop a certain type of consciousness, which whatever computationally is defined as consciousness, which is going to injure a lot of people's beliefs, but if that is found in some certain type of way, that'll be absolutely life-changing. And I hope I'm alive to see it. I truly hope I'm alive to see it.
And even if you aren't, maybe you can upload your brain
Well, it seems right. That's
to the Matrix.
We talked about that.
I wouldn't, but maybe it'll be possible.
It's people think it might be possible, and that's just through computational consciousness, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely amazing. AI adheres to so many different things, such as nanotech. Nanotechnology is something I've been thinking of lately, as to where people will be scared of this because conspiracy theorists will think this is what's already happening, being put into our vaccines or whatever. But
Right.
you allow nanobots to infiltrate your body, and the artificial intelligence will seek out cancers that are being developed while you're young and healthy to prevent you from perishing from some crazy malignant cancer in the future.
That is, bro, is like I said before, it's just crazy the things that the opportunities and doors this will open, man.
Across all functions in life. You can think of almost anything that you love, whether it's space travel, whether it's nanotechnology, whether it's food, whether it's television, whether it's social media, because it does improve your internet searching. Artificial intelligence is just a true enhancement to society.
I think the biggest enhancement that we'll see, like, coming on more recently is probably in the health industries,
right?
Because they'll be able to like perform surgeries with more precision, way more precision than any human hand can exert,
Right.
and they'll be able to even in the realm of science, not just computer science, they'll be able to. I'm sure they're already doing it now, but computers will be able to formulate different vaccines for different things.
Right.
They'll be able to research, like, they'll be able to research, maybe find new elements that are, like, in the atmosphere or something like that. But, it's just crazy.
That'd be absolutely insane. Now that we're on the medical topic, and I think we've talked about this before already, but so I recently learned that you know how doctors scan over images for whatever they're looking for, whatever disease, whatever. They I forgot the specific thing. I'm pretty sure it was some sort of cancer, and doctors were predicting it correctly 63% of the time. That's like, oh, that's pretty good. I mean, 63 is above 50, right?
Right.
And that's usually the line of contemplation. But the artificial intelligence currently, as it is, that was doing the same function as the human, was predicting it 70% of the time. And AI doesn't stop. It's going to get to a point where 80, 90, whatever. Like,
Don't go too fast, AI, because I'm a big fan of Grey's Anatomy. And you're gonna take away all the ideas the show might have to bring on, man.
Yeah, man, and like, but
Don't take away my primetime TV.
that's crazy. But through innovation of artificial intelligence and biotechnology and trying to eliminate diseases and using robotic doctors, even though we said that artificial intelligence is this enhancement to every function of human life, what happens to the way humans make money?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
They're gonna take our jobs. There's a game released that was called Detroit Become Human. And it's more about androids, but like I believe AI falls more under the android category than robots. So but it takes a look into the future where androids are released to the public and they're like well received. They can do all household tasks. There's gonna be like androids in sports. I don't think that'll happen because that's not because the joy of sports comes through error.
yeah,
You
right.
gotta see your favorite team lose and stuff like
yeah,
that.
no, that you know what? That's exactly right. That's
But,
exactly right.
Yeah, but they're well received until they're not, and that's because they're all the things that they're bringing, they're taking away from human civilization.
Right.
So androids become segregated, and it's like it draws like a kind of comparison with like how slavery was in the early days of America.
Mm-hmm.
With but people are just jealous of these androids. So the androids they start to become deviant, and they start to revolt.
That's
And,
crazy.
Man,
Well,
I can
right.
honestly see something like that happening.
Well, I mean, like it's right. Like, where does it stop? Because, things like truck drivers. I'm pretty
Right.
sure truck driving takes up, with everybody involved, takes up about 3 to 5% of American employment, or something near that. There's millions and millions and millions of jobs, but right now they already have autonomous truck driving. They already have autonomous driving, and it
Yeah.
only gets better. Moore's law says in every 18 to 24 months, computational power and computational speed doubles. So it only gets better. This is an exponential ramp that we are going on. So AI only gets better, and I mean, a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people love capitalism, and especially the conservative point of view. But if if AI takes away a huge, massive jobs, we might have to move towards some type of quasi or totally socialist type of political structure, just for the sheer fact that there's not enough jobs to be created, so we can have money circulating within our own.
And I'm also worried about how they'll be perceived in just society as a whole, because if you like look at seniors now, you might hear some old person say like, why are you using your phone so much?
Right.
And like put that away. And like they always ask for help with it because they don't understand.
Right.
But what I'm trying to say is that people really don't like what they don't understand, and you might hear that a lot.
Humans do not
And
like what they
this is
understand.
something that's coming quick, is coming fast. So I'm sure there are going to be people maybe in our generation that like the things that we have right now as technology, and they're going to see things like that are just beyond what we can grasp, and they're just going to turn it away. Because if you think about it, by the time all of this is going to be out, is going to be our children's children that are going to be enjoying the benefits of these, like we have our phones and computers now.
Right.
But it's going to be way beyond that.
Right. I mean, at the end of the day, like, I just encourage people to wake up, because this is a train coming right at your face. And whatever you think the future may be like, and well, look, it definitely isn't going to be like it is today. If you're planning when you're even when in the next 10 years, if you plan on a decade from now living like you do now, no, it's not going to happen.
It's literally impossible.
This thing is nonstop, man. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, man.
Maybe the AI will be able to tackle global warming better than the world leaders, man. Who knows?
I mean,
Because at the rate that AI is increasing, yeah, it's gonna be a beautiful planet. But
yeah.
that's only if we can sustain it, man.
Yeah, that's only if
I
you
don't
can
know.
sustain it. And I talked last week about developing good AI. So The optimal goal, and this is a lot of some of it's fatalist thinking, but I rather think on the optimistic side. This function. Oh my gosh, I'm stuttering again. Hope I edit this out. Anyway.
You need a Snickers, dog.
At its most at its most optimal point, we work together with artificial intelligence, and everything's kumbaya, yada yada yada. That's the end of it, man.
Yeah, that would be good.
Anyway, man.
Enough of this
AI. Got some more topics coming.
Let's get a little buffer period.
Yeah. Because
it's getting a little wordy.
That was
if you're still here, thank you for sticking around. But let's get into something that we talked about in maybe episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Probably episode 2, I'm sure. But
Tory versus Meg.
Should we,
go ahead.
Versus? I don't know.
Oh, no. Oh, my bad. Not versus. This is not a match. Oh, my gosh.
We don't need to cut that out. It's cool.
This is not a versus. I was thinking of the debate is right under that. I was just thinking of the debate. This is not a versus. These are two people, two celebrities. No versus here. Emery, you can.
Tory Lanez, he dropped an album recently called Daystar, and it was probably around 20 songs. Don't quote me on that. I didn't really listen to all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a good reason why. Because he shot Meg.
He shot her in the foot. Yeah, he shot her in the foot.
Yeah, I think there was one song I liked. I won't lie, but still can't really be supporting those type of people, And basically in his album, he was given a long statement saying that he had affairs with Meg, and their relationship was more than met the eye. And I'm sure it was. I have no way of disproving that, but
Mm-hmm.
just you can't do. He's an artist. I get that he dropped an album expressing his thoughts and everything through song form, but
Well, I mean, and that's what he's good at, right? But
you can't do that, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
I remember before he said he was too drunk or something, and that's why he shot her. But come on, bro.
Hey, I mean,
too drunk.
I heard from a wise person that there are two people that will tell you the truth: drunk and angry people. And I know he wasn't saying anything, but that could have been how he truly felt, man. Look, I'm not gonna lie. Well, look. As a member of this podcast, as your co-host, it is my responsibility to be informed about every topic to a certain extent.
Right.
But I did not listen to that Tory Lanez album for 1 second. For 1 second. So I did not listen to it. So I heard he went on dissing a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Had
some words for J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith, where does that even come from? J.R. Smith is in the NBA Finals right now. Right now, it looks like...
He worried more about the Hennessy than you, brother.
Right.
Come on, man.
Tory Lanez just looks like an injured dog. He looks like somebody on the floor, flailing. He's trying to shoot wherever he can.
The analogy Caleb used last week of beating a dead horse, he's beating himself, man.
He was the dead horse.
A dead horse. He tried to make a dead stallion, but what?
Yeah, he couldn't make the stallion dead because look.
And now she's out speaking against you, man. And what you look like?
His career, I feel like, was progressing to a certain point, and I mean, he dug his own grave. And I don't really. A lot of people have their own perspective about cancel culture. I don't really have a certain opinion on that, but
I'm not gonna. Like I was saying before, there's no way to condone this, but yeah, I'm sure there was some side to his story. He should be allowed to say it, but that doesn't make him right in any way, shape, or form.
You can have your side to the story, but I mean, as whatever great mind said, actions speak louder than words. Dog, you shot her.
She probably wasn't able to do much talking after that bullet hit her, man.
Yeah,
that's because of you, dog. You're not even gonna see this. I don't know why we're talking about it. I'm talking to him like that, but
nah, man, that's wild, bro.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
I mean, anything else on that is seems like an open and shut case to me. Not much more we can say about that. But Emery brought an
Tori, you done goofed, brother.
You done goofed, my guy. Not Tory. Emery brought another topic to the show, so go ahead and give your spiel on that.
I'm pretty sure it was last night. NBA YoungBoy, popular rapper from Louisiana.
Who?
NBA YoungBoy.
I'm just kidding.
Bro, I was about to say, I know you listen to it.
Yeah, but look, I'm not too fond of his music, but
hey, he's good. But
bring on the story.
You can't call him your favorite artist.
Oh my gosh.
So repetitive.
The most repetitive rapper out there, but
I can't listen to more than 5 songs.
I mean,
without getting a headache.
If
he's pistol whipping me.
If you listen to 5 songs, then you've listened to the whole album, because out of those 5 songs, you've listened to every flow contained within the album.
Yeah.
Whatever 5 songs you pick. But
anyway.
Yeah, what happened?
He was recording a music video of some sort, and he got arrested for having a gun on him, man. And let's not we already know all these rappers be toting.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to talk about how the police system is treating rappers these days. There's some, they deserve it. Melly,
talk your stuff.
He's a murderer. Murderer. He deserves everything that's coming to him.
Oh my gosh.
But there's a case of Kodak. He recently released a statement saying that he was being tortured and beaten in prison.
Ooh.
And it's just not right.
Wait,
man.
by who? The prisoners or the guards?
Both.
Oh,
Sorry if you guys hear background noise. We're right by the woods.
He's taking it from 2 ends right now. That's tough. No, Kodak is getting messed up, man. Kodak.
But I'm sure that's probably on the table too. But yeah, man, they're just.
You snitch on. I don't know how close the people to 6ix9ine were, but let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, this guy rates a 6 on your friend scale as terms to close to you. So your bestest friend would be a 9 or a 10. This guy's a 6 or a 7.
That's above average.
That's above average friend. So he does some foul stuff. You snitch on him, and you spend 14 nights in prison or jail. You do not snitch on him, and you spend, let's go on the low end, you as being an accomplice 2 or 3 years in prison. No Supreme jackets in prison.
What people don't understand, you can look at 2 or 3 years and like, damn, he'll be out. Oh, excuse me. Dang, he'll be out in a jiffy. But that's 3 years.
3 years? Oh my gosh.
Put that in perspective. That's like from your freshman year in high school to your junior year.
1,095 days, 26,280 hours
of staring at brick walls
and staring at
eating
other
bricks
men
for breakfast. Matter of fact, you might eat a brick in the freaking out in the basketball basketball court if you piss somebody off.
Yeah, he might end up eating bricks, man.
You might get shanked by a pencil. There are a multitude of things that could possibly happen in prison, and you're an above average friend to me.
Look, dog.
How does that saying go? Best man for himself. I'm sorry.
I mean, look. I mean, you got to look out for yourself, because
now all you viewers, you can trust me.
Well, look, to the viewers, man, and to the listeners, Emery was very nice to y'all. He said he can be trusted. But if you don't trust me, I don't care. I don't care about whatever perception you get from this. Do not trust me when it comes to going to jail, because now if it's now let's say it's shortened to a year. You know what? I'll take a year for my blood brothers. I'll take a year. Okay. So we're in the debate. The debate is
debate of the day.
If you had to visit an alien planet, it could take 2 kinds of people whom I don't know why I typed whom. Who would it be? Now, this doesn't mean I take my mom and my dad, my dog, my best friend, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
You know I'm taking The Rock.
So I'm talking about like a type of person. So a linguist or.
You said to an alien planet?
Yeah, so an alien planet.
You have any ideas? I need to brainstorm on this one.
You need to brainstorm. Now, you usually start off with the debates, man. Are you sure you want?
I didn't know about anything about this debate coming in. I need to revel the brain juices.
I bring a linguist / like cryptographer with me to try and decipher what the aliens are saying. Mm-hmm. And the other person, things that come to mind are a mathematician. Some sort of like, not a comedian, but hopefully there's some sort of person that can bring out an emotional attraction to aliens.
Right.
I don't really know. So
I have my first person.
I'll say a mathematician and a linguist / cryptographer. Go ahead.
Hopefully I could think of something else while I'm talking about this, but my first person would probably have to be a survivalist.
Okay.
Because if we're going to this alien world, this is on the assumption that I'm not coming back.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to have to spread human civilization so we don't die off. I'm going to need a survivalist, somebody who knows about all the necessary things that we need to start up a civilization.
Right.
And
I like that.
After that, I'll probably an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else could really follow.
You gotta be specific with the engineer, man.
Engineer, and I don't know where to describe this person, but like someone like kind of like Dr. Doolittle. You feel me?
Well, look, y'all are gonna get mad at me for this one. Who is Dr. Doolittle? Sorry, I've heard the name. It's pretty popular. Emery is now walking up. He does this every episode. Makes fun of my ignorance by walking up and looking at the camera. He is breaking his back currently to look into the camera. But and he's looking back at me. I have no idea of who Dr. Doolittle is. I have heard the name, and I don't like being dishonest, but whenever anybody brings up Dr. Doolittle in a conversation, I tend to just sit and nod. I have no idea who that is. I'll look up a picture while you talk. I'll just look up who Dr. Doolittle is.
You know what? Guys, I think I should just have the debate here by default. For my co-host being stupid.
I'm sorry.
We can't do this. He doesn't know who Dr. Doolittle is?
What is that?
Basically, he's an animal whisperer.
Oh, okay. What?
But I'm not saying aliens are animals. Let me rationalize this. But
I see.
Someone with the ability to communicate with both animals and aliens.
Yeah.
I feel like they would be able to treat an alien like a separate animal life form.
So we kind of have similar.
Yeah, like the linguist. I think my Dr. Doolittle type guy would be more efficient.
Yeah. Okay.
So what would you say? You said you're gonna be like the.
Yeah, I'd think with my knowledge in physics and artificial intelligence, my theoretical knowledge aligned with the mathematicians' mathematical prowess, I think we'd be able to collectively engineer something. Because what you didn't take into account, the engineering side, these aliens, assuming we're on their planet for a considerable amount of time, right, they must be nice at first. But they might have a certain weapon that literally rips the fabric of your complete existence. So
body us.
We might need to develop some type of weaponry.
I was say, the debate. There's not really a clear-cut answer to this, so I think it just comes down to who would the aliens say they're a waste of my time and kill first.
Okay. Well, I think if they look at somebody named Dr. Doolittle, they would use this particle-ripping gun, and I think he's the first guy off the list. But
I think they killed Caleb Newman.
With your leadership qualities, maybe you garner the troops and you enslave the entire alien race.
I'm not one for slaves.
I'm kidding.
So
I'm kidding. Maybe you find a way to develop a love and peace across these
so
said
I
aliens.
feel like I would be the diplomat kind of person,
I can see that.
bridging the gap between our alien and human civilizations. I think the survivalist would factor in by playing a role, showing him what humans are all about, further building on that family connection.
True that.
And I think the best thing is understanding. And I think my Dr. Doolittle type figure would be the best.
Yeah, okay.
In fostering that understanding and communication between the aliens.
I feel that.
So I'm going for the love route, and so us aliens and humans can coexist.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking at it more analytically and stuff.
But we would probably get killed anyway, because who out here for love? All people want is power. I'm sure that's the same for aliens.
Maybe humans are that dumb that we're the only being that has a lust for certain other things, and that may not necessarily be true, because animals on our planet have lustful things too. They go and eat other animals, but maybe us humans are the only super intelligent beings that think that way. But I mean, look, it goes two ways. These aliens could we assume that they can communicate. They're intelligent enough to communicate,
right.
But they could be monkeys, or they can be like super smart, and whatever math we try to bring to them is primitive. So, I mean, look.
When I usually think of aliens, I think of something that's beyond us.
Uh-huh.
So,
but it's just as likely that they're not beyond us.
Yeah,
it also
that's
depends.
true.
It also depends upon who finds who. Because if we travel there, that may mean that we're more advanced than them.
That is very true. But then again, there may have been a reason that they didn't come to us.
Yeah, maybe they have a super good
scouting.
telescope that they've already seen us, and they're like, what?
Look at these ugly baboons.
I'm saying, bro.
They don't want it. They don't want to mess with us.
No, I definitely, man, y'all are getting me all.
I think we can agree to disagree.
Yeah, we can definitely agree to disagree, but I mean, both of our squads, I think, fare very well.
All right, it got a little sappy, but y'all know what time it is.
Man, to be honest, I forgot you had a freestyle.
Of course you forgot, but I'm gonna make you remember. Hit me up.
Woo, okay, let's think of a beat, man. I always make the freestyles lit with the beats. Emery's congesting his H2O right now, so let me think of a beat.
Let's get it on. Four. Episode 4, and we in this piece. Yeah, we talked about AI and other stuff. Yeah, Tory Lanez make the stallion. He shot her, and he was wrong for that. Bobby Shmurda, we gotta get him on the streets. About a week ago, I was in the sheets. Yeah. And now we're recording this episode of the podcast. And this be going hard. And I'm going real far with my raps. It makes your foot tap on the ground.
Hey.
Longest freestyle around. And you know that we're getting down. But we're about to end the episode right now.
Hey, man, you get better every week, dog. That was definitely the best freestyle yet. Let's go. He's taking the jacket off. He's throwing the Supreme. We don't know what happened. Emery's mic has
sharing his mic. We gonna end it right there.
Yeah, Emery's mic disconnected, but it's wildness around here. Thank y'all so much for watching. Episode 5 coming soon. Let's get it, gang.